Hello and welcome to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm Harry and on this very smoky and hazy edition of the Friday Drive, I viewed this, our MY 2018 Aston Martin DB11. The latest and greatest Aston Martin yet, the DB11 is the successor of the DB9 and the first car launched by Aston Martin after the partnership with Daimler. So before we launch into this, let's pull over and have a little look around at this new generation of Aston Martin. Naturally, what you see first is of course the styling, and finished in onyx black with the full graphite exterior pack, this car not only oozes class but also a huge amount of sophistication, and that's not something you can say about many high performance cars these days. Under the bonnet is a new 5.2 litre twin turbo V12 which puts out an impressive 477 kilowatts of power, which is then fed through to the new 8-speed ZF gearbox, which is good enough to get this car from 0 to 100 in just 3.8 seconds. And step inside, you're presented with exactly what you expect in an Aston Martin. Acres and acres of hand-stitched leather. But more importantly, build quality is far and away better in the DB11 than it was in the DB9. And the trims, particularly this chopped carbon fibre inlay, is absolutely exceptional. It is just so nice. Look at it. It's all looking pretty good, isn't it? So I guess the next question is, what's it like to drive? Well, let's find out. Well, duh, of course this thing's phenomenal. What more do you really want me to say? As a GT, this car is perfect. For me, the styling is a little bit on the fussy side, but I've not been able to find one person who actually agrees with me on this point, so what do I know? It's not just the drive that's better, the whole experience is better. Anyone who has driven or owned a Mercedes will know exactly how all the controls work, and if you don't, it will take 2 seconds to learn because it's perfectly logical. And should anything break in this, I would have thought it'd be relatively affordable to fix. I mean, this gear selector, for instance, is straight out of a $40,000 A-Class. People criticise component sharing like this, but I think it's good. Aston Martin's attempts in the past to do this sort of stuff themselves has been woeful, but this is spot on and it is bang up to date as the latest Mercedes, which means that it is actually a truly current generation car, not one slapped together with parts bin components from last decade. But who really cares about that when this car looks as good as this and drives as well as this? The chassis balance is brilliant, the trade-off between ride comfort and handling is perfect. As a driving experience and as a Grand Tourer, this is the best in the world, no question. And despite the fact this engine is now turbocharged, I reckon it sounds just as good, if not even better than the DB9. How they did this I don't know, but if Aston Martin had attempted similar sorcery a few hundred years ago, they would have been burnt at the stake for it. So now you're probably sick of me talking like I usually do, so let's just sit back, bask in the glory of this magnificent car, and I will encourage you to come down to Lorbeck Luxury Cars today and buy this stunning example with only 1,900 and a bit kilometres from you. Car, so you really should buy it today. We'll see you next week. Yes.